Hello, everyone. My name is Annette Anthony. I am the Director of Corporate Engagement for EXIT Realty Corp International, and it's August. We're leveraging technology, which is our theme for the month, focusing on engagement and generating leads. We have a special guest with us today. We've got Denise Rush. Denise, welcome to our Techinar this month.
Thank you, Annette. Glad to be here.
Yes, you're a new voice for us, and we're so excited to have you. You know, one thing that's very special about working here at EXIT Realty is that we have amazing regional owners, and they're very busy seeking out amazing leaders to join our EXIT Realty family, and they're opening up offices across North America. But you know what they're also doing is they're advocating for our EXIT associates to keep them busy and productive throughout the year. One of the things I enjoy the most about working with regional owners is that we strategize together. So when we look ahead at the summer months coming up, we're having conversations about what can we do. What are some activities, ideas to keep EXIT associates busy throughout especially the summer, so that going into the fall months as well as the end of the year and then into 2026, we can keep them busy with meaningful activities. And one of the things that we did is I spoke with Michael Washburn. He's one of our regional owners for the Carolinas. And one thing that we did is we looked at holding a contest. Now, contests are a really great way to motivate any agent to take action, because there's probably bragging rights, maybe some good prizes, right? Good reasons to just generate activity because they want to win. But the real winner is EXIT associates who get involved, who connect with people, who engage their EXIT Realty tools and resources with clients, potential clients, connecting their tools with just people in general to remind them that they are a real estate agent. So we kicked off this contest, and what we did was the intention of this contest is to drive usage. Driving usage, we know this. Activity generates opportunities to connect with people, build relationships with those people, follow back with those people, to then turn them into relationships. And then those relationships turn into referrals, and then doing business with those individuals. So all of that activity is really important because it generates that good momentum. But as we all know, it's summer. And the summer months mean that kids are out of school. Maybe they're doing summer activities. It's hot. I mean, I live in Kentucky. The humidity is not for the faint of heart. And while you're in the summer months, oftentimes agents take that, the gas pedal, they take the pressure off the gas pedal and they focus on other things other than real estate. And then when it comes into the fall months or towards the end of the year, they're wondering, where did all my activity go? Why isn't the phone ringing? Why aren't I generating referrals like I used to at this point? Well, we have to take a look at what was the activity months prior. That's really important, which is why we kicked off this summer surge of activity. And here's what I know. We had pretty much most offices in the Carolinas, they doubled their usage in the tools across the board, which is unbelievable. And it's exciting for a regional owner to be able to look back at their offices and the leaders within and go back to those leaders and say, congratulations, as a result, your agents have connected with a lot of people, twice as many as what they did last year this time. So I'm certain that as we lead into the fall months and into the end of the year, there's going to be some great activity because conversations are being had right now in the summer months. Now, during the summer surge, we focused on 4 primary technologies at EXIT, although we have a lot. We wanted to focus on 4 primary tools, and the reason why we chose a variety is because we wanted to make sure that we gave the associates options for what type of tools so that they can connect in different ways. And let me explain the 4 tools that we focused on. We focused on first the EXIT Realty Connect App on the consumer side. Now, one thing that we did during this contest is we didn't just say, hey, send your EXIT Realty Connect app to your consumer so they can connect with you. No, no, no. Instead, we encourage the EXIT associates to just set up the app on the consumer side for your clients. And then let them know, hey, I set you up on my EXIT Realty Connect app. You can do the things that you love with the app, and we can stay connected. So that was a great way to connect people with your app, because then the app lets you know what they're doing specifically with your app. And that's always great things, so that you can reach back and connect and say, hey, I just wanted to see how you're doing today. I'm focusing on activities this week, and they'll be surprised that you're following up because they were using your app. Well, your app will tell you the activity of your contacts, and that's very important. The other technology that we focused on is the mobile business card. This is your digital business card that you can share with your clients, but there's so many different components within the mobile business card that you can use to really make meaningful connections. You can share people your smart sign technology. You can share information about EXIT Realty. They can connect with you. They can also download your app. There's a lot of great ways. So it's not just handing them a business card. It's a digital card that they can take with wherever they go. The third technology is Quick Leads. Now, this is one of my favorite tools because I've seen many of our EXIT associates leverage this fully because it's on the go. It's in the EXIT Realty Connect app on the associate side. And what you do is when you click on Quick Leads, it gives you several ways to engage with your contact, whether you want to send them your mobile business card, you want to send them your My Smart Sign technology, send them a digital presentation for a seller, a buyer, potential recruit, even a listing presentation. And of course, you can send them the ability to connect on the consumer side with the EXIT Realty Connect app. So I love Quick Leads, and so do our agents, because it gives them so many different ways after they've met to just reinforce that meeting with them. So Quick Leads is really fantastic. And then we've got, of course, our Smart Sign technology. This is geolocation technology, and what it does is it delivers properties available for sale to a consumer in their geolocation. So they get to see properties for sale. It doesn't matter who's listing the property. It could be by EXIT Realty, independent, international brands, national brands, doesn't matter. The consumer wants to see what's for sale. So when they're utilizing our EXIT Associates Smart Sign technology, it delivers that. Every time consumers text to use our associates My Smart Sign technology, our EXIT agents get that text notification with the verified mobile number of the consumer who's searching, who's using their tech, which sets up our agents to be able to follow up immediately. Now, we've invited Denise on this call, and I've been really excited about this. Denise, you are not new to real estate, but you are new to EXIT Realty. Tell us a little bit about your real estate past, and how did you come to find us?
Okay, so not new to real estate, so really over 20 years, but it's always been part-time. But I still, even though I was working part-time, I still went full-fledged as though I was full-time. And so along the way, I try to learn every little thing about marketing out there, as well as what tools that would help. And then back then, it just seemed to be all segmented in different aspects that I had to tie together and didn't quite understand. And so when I got to EXIT, I could not believe the resource center and all of the tools that were available. I was like, you mean to tell me they give you vanity numbers that I don't have to go out there and set up, and that way of setting up and have a different price point for everything and 20 cents per text and all of this and that. So I was just blown away with everything that was offered in the resource center. And not saying that my former brokers didn't have that, they just didn't express to me that those things were available. So, and hats off to my broker in charge for actually stressing that to take the time to go in and look at the resource center and all of those things that are available to us.
Absolutely. You've been utilizing our tools since June. And what caught my attention about you, Denise, is that you generated the lion's share of the leads of your entire office. Okay. So we had the contest. We just finished the contest and we focused on those 4 tools. But there was 3 specific tools that you're leveraging. You use the mobile business card, the My Smart Sign technology, and quick leads. Okay, you're new with us. What was your process to learn the tools?
Okay, number one, I literally just got a regular notebook. Okay, and then I just got into the resource center, and instead of just watching to see what these tools were, I sat myself up and I'm like, okay, I'm going to dedicate an hour to watching this webinar. And as that webinar was playing, I just implemented right then and there. Because a lot of times, and I know with me, my problem in the past was I would watch something and say, oh, I'll get around to it. And I just never get there. So to make sure that I hold my feet to the fire, I basically, when I press play, on my screen to the side, I bought one of these double screens to add to my laptop because with me, I get distracted so easily. And then I end up on Facebook chatting and everything else. So I bought this double screen where I could play the video on one, implement on the other, and just have the third screen, just as email or the social media platform or the Exit Resource Center where I could follow along. That's all I did was follow the videos step by step.
So that's a big differentiator because a lot of agents will watch, they'll probably take notes, but then they'll try to, apply it later, or like you said, which is the death when you get around to it. That's a death right there because they never get around to doing it. But as you're watching and you're implementing and you're practicing it as you're learning it, that's going to be a big differentiator for our agents.
Yes, and I mean, literally, that's all I did. I played the video, I implemented immediately, and then if it, when you talked about sharing with different people, I literally just took my cell phone and I typed in 8. First, I start with my family and friends, my sisters, my nieces, my nephew, immediate family. And I called each one. I was like, hey, I'm with Exit now. You guys know that. I need you to download my app. And I gave them it and I said, if you don't do it, I'm going to nag you until you do it. And so I challenged them as well. I said, please share it on your Facebook page and also tell your friends about it. And, once I did that, I started seeing the leads come in, but I wasn't even paying attention to that they were coming in because I didn't realize, I was so new, I didn't realize that the dashboard was actually keeping track of what I was doing. So I was just implementing. So started with just the family and family. And then I used Loom, a Loom video to send a video to my friends and my former co-workers, every last one of them. And I just told them, I was like, hey, it's Denise. I hope you're doing well. I just want to let you know that I'm with Exit Realty right now, and I'm here to help serve anyone looking to buy or sell. And they all know me as this person who's always, we're always going to talk business, or if there's something that I know, if I know it, they know it. So they know that about me. So when I call them and I ask them to download this app, no problem. They did it hands off. And then I just went to my phone, punched in the A, and I just sent that Loom video to everyone who was in the A column of my cell phone contacts. And now here's the thing, Annette. I've only gotten through the A's. I haven't gone through everything else because, of course, life happened. August was a crazy month for me. But A's, that's where, and then once I reached out, I sent them the Loom link. And I like Loom particularly because as soon as someone watched the video, it sends me a text message and it tells me that they watched it. And I can see how many people watched the the video. And I've been seeing that they were going up, but I was so busy implementing, I didn't realize people were actually watching the video. So I sent a quick text underneath the video, and I told them what I was doing, and it just happened. And that was free. I didn't spend any money on anything. I hadn't even placed the first ad or anything. It was just the A's in my contact, family, friends, and my former coworkers and my neighbors. Everyone who's my neighbors, I literally was like, hey, can you download my app? Can you send it to someone? That's literally all I did.
That's amazing. And there's a lot more letters in the alphabet to go. How many contacts would you say you have in total? Any idea?
I just put my head down and just did the work.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even look to see how many. I just saw that they were coming in Loom. And then the last webinar that you did, and I was on it, and I got on late because I had an appointment that morning. I got on, and then you were talking about the contest, and you mentioned my name. I was like, did she just call my name? I couldn't believe it because I was so busy implementing, I didn't even pay attention to the numbers, but I heard the dings. I saw that they were watching the Loom video, but I really didn't pay attention. I was just I got to call all of these A's, everybody in the A contacts. And that's what I just put my head down to do that. And then I just went on to the next video, implement as the video went along, pause, implement, play. Pause, implement, play. That's literally what I did. That's the secret.
This doesn't even include your social media connections.
No. And so this is social media. I haven't gone to the social media. Some of the close friends, I let them know on there. I did do the video that you said where you was like, hey, the house around the corner just sold. How does it affect I literally just did that video, but I haven't put it in I haven't done an ad behind it, but I have it set and ready because life happened. It threw me off a little bit, but it was and I did that video through Loom, and then I also use Big View because I have a hard time remembering what I should say. And so Big View has been a huge help because it's the teleprompter as well. So with the house around the corner is sold, I literally cut and pasted into Big View, and I just went outside and just record, and it's there for me to just go into the Exit Resource Center under the ads. I couldn't believe that as well. I was like, you mean to tell me I can sit here and do an ad and I don't have to sit here all day to try to figure out how to do the capture page and how to do it was so confusing. But to be able to go in the Resource Center and just pull whatever listing, or either just to do the app is already there, the template was already there. The only thing I did was add my vanity number to it. I didn't want to try to reinvent the wheel or try to be, like my mom said, don't try to be cute when it's working. Don't try to change it. And I just went in and the only thing I did was add Denise, what's for sale to 85. That's all I did with all of my ads. Every last ad, I made sure I put that vanity code or one of those vanity codes in there.
And that's a really smart vanity code for your My Smart Sign, Denise, what's for sale. So good, because that's what people want to know. And you can use that in your, as you're talking, like, do you want to know what your neighbor just listed their house for? Just ask me, Denise, what's for sale? That's what you type you text it to 85377. That's a really smart vanity name because it's fun, it's catchy, and it lets people know, what they want.
Yes.
Now, let me ask. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. And like you said, everything is there, and I haven't even scratched the surface with everything that's in the app. And I would tell anyone who's new, it would be easy to get overwhelmed. Don't. Just take one section, focus on that one section, and just keep going. That's just what I did. And I think the other thing that helped me, I also use a Google Doc, and I put the links in to whatever I use or what webinar that I watched so that I can remember to go back to it because I'm sure there's something I missed. So I have a ledger, a Google form that I use with my schedule every day, and it has active links in. So every morning I pop open, that's the first thing that I do, open that Google Doc, and I literally just follow through that Google Doc step by step by step. I mean, it's gotten me because I get so off track of what I should do, or if life happens and I have to step away for a day or two, when I come back, I can immediately go into my Google Doc and I know exactly where I should start and what I need to be doing.
That's perfect. Now, with all the connections that you're making, Denise, like how are you ensuring that these people, it's not just one and done, that they stay connected with you regularly?
Well, the huge thing for me was the CRM, Lofty, and also looking into the exit dashboard to see that the leads are in there. And then I just make sure that as soon as that lead comes in, it goes right into my Lofty CRM. And I mean, the Lofty CRM, I've tried several. I'm part of, high level, which I love, but there were so many different parts that you had to go in if you're not techie to go in and change certain things. Whereas Lofty, the leads came in through the exit dashboard from my Facebook ads, and then it went right into Lofty. And then it automatic, and as soon as it comes in, of course, you get that, I get a text message and I immediately call them. And if they don't answer, I call again. And then I'll send them a text and say, hey, I just tried to call, to ask if you have any real estate questions or a real estate need. And by the way, if you want to see what's for sale, text Denise, what's for sale. I constantly, everything that I say, I make sure I say, Denise, what's for sale. And that's all I do. And then I just put a note in there to myself in Lofty just to call back. And the CRM just helps me keep track of who I should be calling that day, and what my conversation was with them. Because in the past, I tried everything. I tried to do the spreadsheet. I thought I could use a calendar, and remember, you just will not remember, because there's what I learned. There's no reason to have all these leads come in if you're not staying top of mind with them. And then one other thing that I'm adding is just to do a weekly motivation, just so that they can get something from me, just to see like, oh yeah, that's from Denise. Even though a lot of times I know they're gonna delete it, but still they will see your realtor Denise Rush in that topic, and they know that, oh, that's Denise. But I'm just trying to develop that in their mind space. If you have a real estate need or a question, Denise always sends me this email every week, a motivational email. And so that's just how I keep, and like I said, the CRM is basically the lifeblood of when you're getting those leads in and to be able to stay top of mind.
Absolutely. We talk to our exit associates about the importance of a CRM, and a lot of agents, well, which one should I use? The one that you're going to use is the most important.
Yeah.
Doesn't, whatever works for you in your business, you have to, but we as humans do not have the capacity to remember everything. And that's where technology can really help us to remind us when it's time to reconnect, to not let those relationships slipping through the cracks. You're generating a lot of leads, hundreds of them, and you're just getting started, but you're also already closing business. You're helping people. Tell us a little bit about that. Because, and mind you, you've only been using these tools since June of 2025. We are in August of 2025. So tell us a little bit about what has the activity that you've done, what has that generated in business?
I literally cannot believe it, but just from my spirit, just from my family and the friends and the contacts in my phone, I've gotten a buyer seller just from a friend was like, oh, I forgot you were in real estate. I didn't know if you were still in there. And that's basically what all of them said was like, hey, I forgot you were in real estate. And they'll send a referral. I receive a few from investors because I send the same video to investors as well. So I receive an investor lead, which turned into a buyer and a seller. And then I also had a friend she was a realtor, but she was like, I'm just too busy. I need you to help me find a house. She said, she said, I downloaded your app. She was like, thank you so much. She was like, I'm looking at all the houses for sale in my area. And she would send me everything that I knew what she was looking at because it was telling me what she was looking at. And then I would just reach out. And I have 3 listings coming. Hopefully two are coming by the end of the week and 1 next week. And all of them came from the A's in my phone and just that spirit influence and my friends that I sent. And then also when I did run the ads through the dashboard, I received a lead from there as well. And some of them are warming up. They're warm leads and they're about 6 months out. But at least I know that I've got that pipeline building of business.
So good. I hope everybody's taking notes because the people who attend in this session, Denise, are either brand new to the EXIT Realty brand and brand new to real estate. But we also have seasoned agents like you who came from another brand, but EXIT is new. And then we've got EXIT agents who've been with us for many, many years who've had access to these tools and some of which are paralyzed. Like they've been out of touch. They haven't communicated regularly, and there's a challenge there. What is your best advice, Denise, for that EXIT agent who's watching right now that says, this is all good, but I haven't kept in touch. My people know it. What would you suggest for them to get them over that hump, to get them unstuck? What do you recommend?
Give yourself some grace and just reach out because at the end of the day, people are very forgiving and they know that life happens. Everyone is busy. So there's nothing wrong with just reaching out just to say, hey, I'm just calling just to check in to see what's happening. Because everyone is understanding. Sometimes we beat ourselves up and we're harder on ourselves than we really need to be. And then it freezes you and you don't do anything. But Don't try to be perfect. I mean, like some of the Loom video, I fumbled around. I was like, I am not going to make this video 3 or 4 times. And, don't expect perfection from yourself. And don't compare yourself to anyone else and keep going. Because sometimes you could, like, I was just sending those vanity numbers out there and I was just following along and I was just sending the Loom link and it wasn't perfect. I just sent it out there and it wasn't perfect. That's the thing. Don't expect perfection from yourself. And you may not see the results immediately, but trust me, it will snowball. If I can do it, anyone can. And just, you don't have to sit in front of your computer for hours and days because the Techinar videos and all of the webinar research, they're not very long. So what I did, I just sat down, block off some time, and I just implemented as I went along because I knew once I was done, then I had to go on with life. And then I just did everything right then and there. And then another thing that really helped me, that schedule. Make sure you just make yourself a schedule. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but also add active links in there so you're not all over the place and get yourself flustered and frustrated about what you should do. And another thing that I do as well is before I start any studying or video or anything of that nature, I take a few minutes to go over my why, my affirmations. I have them right here in my face every single day. And some people, may think it's a bunch of hocus pocus like affirmations. Oh, it doesn't work. Yes, it does. And I listen to something motivational every single day just to get me going. And of course, I do my daily Bible study and all that good stuff. But I have these affirmations because this is my why.
Mhm.
And sometimes, a lot of times, and sometimes several times out of the day, I have to grab my affirmations just to remind myself and to get the motivation to keep going. And
Mm.
don't expect perfection.
You know, I'm going to tell you something, and this might blow your mind. We have an affirmation app.
Wow.
We do. So when you're done today, Denise, I want you could just even text the word prompter because that's the name of our affirmation app. So if you text prompter to 85377, you'll get our prompter app. And these are affirmations that our founder and chairman, Steve Morris, has written for us specifically. That you can do them from your phone, write them down on a pad of paper, and then take a picture of it with the app and then submit it. And it records how many affirmations you've done in sequence. When you get started, you'll write your affirmations. And then at your 21 days, it gives you a brand new set of affirmations. So you'll want to check that out. You're going to absolutely love it.
That's awesome. And one other thing I did when I received the welcome packet from
Mm-hmm.
EXIT, I was like, wow, not a welcome. And the affirmations book was in there. So I was reading through the affirmations and it was just giving you ideas about how to get through the day. And so I was like, wow, this is really interesting because I'm big on affirmations and goals and things of that nature. So to see that come from the company and it came in a hard copy, and now
Yeah.
to know that there's an app, that's the extra cherry in the sundae.
Yeah. Now, the affirmation app too, it's not just for Exit Realty. I mean, I've shared it with friends and family. I have a friend of mine, she's an ER nurse, and she has shared it with people, and that she's come across. So that's a really good one. I know people I'm writing notes like crazy, sharing your information with people who know, like, and trust you. The letters of the alphabet in your phone, that's easy. I love the fact, even texting your neighbors, that's very good one. The technologies that you're using, the teleprompter, big view, noting your processes so that you don't skip a step, through Google Docs, and then Lofty, your CRM, amazing. And then you said something very important, that when you call and they don't answer, you call them again.
Yes.
So you guys, are you listening to these very practical but things that you can do immediately? And then your weekly motivation, I think that's really special. Let me ask you a final question. Tell us about your broker owner, Corwin. How has his encouragement helped you use the tools?
I cannot I cannot say enough about Corwin. I love Corwin Millette. I mean, he's the biggest motivator. And I was just blown away when and I'm lucky enough to live across the street from Corwin. We get out there, we're in the road out here, and we'll talk real estate for hours. Cars are driving around, we're waiting. But he's been such an inspiration. And literally just seeing him over the years, how every day when his truck leaves his driveway, it has a distinct sound. I'm like, there's Corwin, he's on it, And it's amazing that when I got with the company, he shared that he helped his agents get the leads. He said, I provide leads that come into the company. I was like, really? You provide? And then he said, yeah, and you can come along when I do a listing presentation for the buyer and seller. You're more than welcome to come. I was like, really? Come along? And which that was just mind blowing for me. And then he
Mhm.
also sends these motivational emails. And I don't get a chance to respond to him directly on each one, but I read each one of those emails because it's always packed with so much good information. And he sent us a video maybe about a week, maybe 2 weeks ago. There's a huge company that's coming to the Carolinas. And he was just explaining to us how to get ourselves in position to provide our services and just to increase ourselves in the market share. And as soon as I got off, what I hold myself to, as he was talking, I was writing down notes, and I immediately took the next hour and I just started developing my marketing plan to attract those those individuals who may be moving to the area for
Mhm.
that. So, I know whatever he shares, that he's sharing it for a reason. And it's like he goes out there in the forefront and do all of the hard work just to clear the way, just for his agents to say, all right, walk right on through, and here's what you need to do. And so I most definitely, when there's a leader like that who's sharing such great insight and who takes the time and really care about his agents, that everything that he says, I most definitely am going to implement and do. And I'm just so motivated and I'm so excited to be part of his EXIT Realty Lowcountry Group. I'm just excited. I don't know. I said, I hope everybody else in the office don't think I'm just kind of loose in my brain, but I'm really excited because it's just like for the first time, I finally feel like I'm with the brokerage. I have a broker in charge that if I pick up that phone, he's there. He's going to respond no matter what time it is. He's going to respond immediately. He's given such great guidance and such great information, all of the tools with Exit, and it's just like there's no way that I can fail. I mean, and there's just no way you can fail with all of the tools and the resources are there. You just have to put perfection aside, give yourself some grace, and just keep taking one step at a time. I mean, and all those resources, it'll take it'll take the rest of the year for me to actually go through and see everything that's there. And he also highlights different things that are in the resource center that we should keep track on. And there's a newsletter that he has that comes out as well that keeps us abreast of what's happening with the technology.
So good. And you know what? Speaking of great leaders and those who share, you're doing that too. You've invited people into Exit Realty, and you get to share your, what you're doing in your business, which is going to help them too.
Yes, I know a few of my friends who are realtors, and I definitely got off. I was like, listen, I've never steered you wrong, because a lot of my friends, we always talk real estate, talk investing. And I was like, you have to come over here because just some of the things that Core and especially is working on, that it blows my mind. I was like, I cannot believe it, with some of the things that he's working on that is going to allow agents to grow. And then also the program with bringing other agents in, and how sweet talk them over. I was like, hey, if you come over, I'll help you get your lofty set up. So we're currently, there's two that are coming over. They haven't done it yet, but they are coming. And then I have another two in the pipeline. And, now I'm just trying to figure out, like, I want to be able to offer them something to, because I know it could be overwhelming, especially, just kind of, I guess I want to be that resource for them, just to be like a quick guide to be like, look, this is what's available through Exit, and I'm more than willing to help you get through it and get everything set up.
Well, you're living an amazing testimony of what change could look like when you're with the right brokerage and you've got amazing leadership like Corwin.
But thank you so much. Thank you.
So good. I wrote down a ton of notes, and I'm excited for the people who are attending. I want to share with you, with the audience, I've got a couple things that I want to wrap up with to give you actionable things to do in your business, okay? I want you to jump in. I know you're excited with all the things that you've learned from Denise and her experience, but I want to give you things that you can apply right now. The first is the next 30 days, okay? I want you to look at big picture. We have so much technology, tools, and resources that are all supported by Exit, meaning you can call franchise support and you can get help. You can text from my vanity code ENGAGE to 85377, and I can walk you through these tools to help you implement them into your business. We have tons of in our media library, lots of videos that you can watch so that you can apply them as you're watching the webinar. So I want you to pick one thing. Out of all the resources that we have, just pick one thing and really dive into it for the next 30 days. And then you also have what's called an activity snapshot. We're proud of this. And what it does is it monitors activity. So you've got a wide variety of tools, and it's managing how often do you utilize these tools. So every time you share your mobile business card, it gives you, you'll see, your usage. If people are texting your mobile business card or your My Smart Sign, it notes your activity. And people love to see that their efforts are proving results. The activity snapshot is going to help you do that. It's going to see what exactly you're doing with the tools. Which tools are you leveraging more often than other tools so that you can lean into the ones that have greatest opportunity. It also, we have these flags indicated in these boxes. So gray means there's no change from the previous month. Green means that you've grown usage in that particular tool or resource. And then red means that there's a decline. So this is important for us because we always want you to be knowing. Exit associates have access to this, to their own activity. But then broker owners see the whole picture of the office, which is important because we want our leaders to be equipped with accurate data to show the activity in the office so that they can lean into areas where maybe there's greater opportunity to use. They know that using the activity snapshot. And one of our associates, one of our leaders actually, Nick Liebert, I've heard him multiple times say, if you're not tracking, you're slacking. So the activity snapshot is going to help you track so that you're not slacking. So make sure that you check that out. Also, think about your tools as not just a one and done, but that you can stack other exit tools to just enhance that moment. It's not like I said, you're sharing the mobile business card once and then nothing else happens after that. Why not instead, after you share your mobile business card, maybe you follow with a digital guide, and it could be a variety of digital guides. We have a digital presentation. We have buyer guide, seller guide. We have a recruitment package that you can share also after you've sent the mobile business card. So those are 4 additional touches that you can do. Also, after you share your mobile business card, why not send them your EXIT Realty Connect app on the consumer side? It's additional resource. Also, after you send your mobile business card, why not share your sponsoring page and let them know, hey, if you know someone in real estate who could benefit from a great real estate career, here's some information to get to know us a little bit better. So these are great things to just, again, stack, not just one and done. Same to be true for the Quick Leads button inside the EXIT Realty Connect app as well. There's several ways to connect, but in addition to those several different ways, there's a lot of other things that you can share to, again, really enhance that moment that you're connecting with people, whether it's online or offline. Take advantage of stacking our technology tools. Hey, this was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this session. Next month, we're going to focus on social media, social presence. We're excited for that session, so be sure that you join us. It's going to be on the 4th Wednesday of the month at noon Eastern Standard Time. Denise, did you have fun today?
I had a lot of fun. Thank you so much for having me.
We're so excited that you're with us, that you decided to say yes to EXIT Realty, and we want to be part of your story. We want to continue to be part of your story, that you can reach out to us, Denise, and lean on us for any guidance or strategies on how you can use the tools better so that we can help you close more business, because that is what it's all about. Thank you so much for enjoying or being part of this session and sharing your wisdom, Denise. For everyone else, thank you so much for joining us. We hope you have a great rest of your month, and we'll see you in September. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you.